Yo, what's going on guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're here for my PCL game for week 7. This is my match versus Blazing Squid, coach of the Toronto Totodiles, and this is definitely an exciting battle as he is the number 2 team in the league and we are number 1 currently, and I feel like he is a very scary team. He is Lele, Victini, Zeraora, Zardwy, Lola Muck, Zydog, Hitmontop, regular Venusaur, Claydol, Araquanid, and Executor, Alola form. So his team's really scary, and it has a pretty great matchup against mine. You know, I feel like Lele just kind of destroys me. Like, my only real switch into Lele on this like whole draft would be my Magearna, or I guess Bronzong, but Shadow will definitely would hit Bronzong very powerfully, so I guess just Magearna, like AV Magearna, but Magearna also had no matchup in this battle as, you know, you can see that he is a Victini and a Zardwy, and he did bring both of them, so that's not good. Him bringing both of them definitely isn't what I wanted to see, but I kind of figured he would, so I didn't bring Magearna for that reason. So my Lele count is definitely not really here, and I have no switch into Sun Boosted Victini. Like Sun Boosted Victini is going to beat down my whole team. Maybe like Suicune's like the only mon that can somewhat take on Victini. But under Sun, I feel like Victini actually has a pretty okay matchup against Suicune, since of course Scold's weakened, and I mean Bolt Strike is definitely going to hurt, especially if he runs like Choice Banded Victini, which I definitely wasn't expecting. I was expecting him to go with Firenium or Firium Z Victini, as I just felt like that was a pretty good bring here. And you're going to see later on, you know, if that's what he has or not. But Zardwy also has a really scary matchup, since I don't exactly have many counters to that other than like Scarf Mons with like Rock Slide. So yeah. And then you also see his Claydol Araquanid for, you know, Rocks and Webs. And then Zeraora, which is the one mon out of his like 4 offensive ones I feel like I can check, and I can check it with Venusaur. So that's not a big threat. I mean, it does deal with like the majority of the other mons I have. So, I mean, if Venusaur goes down, then it's definitely going to be a huge threat. And you know, Venusaur has no matchup versus like 4 out of 6 of his mons. Like, it can maybe take on Araquanid, but you know, it doesn't have a. It's definitely not taking on Lele, Claydol, Victini, or Zardwy. So that definitely sucks. But to this match, I have some Pokemon. We have Haxorus, which is Scarfed with Outrage, Poison Jab, Rock Slide, and Earthquake. Haxorus was just really good to Scarf in this match. It hits pretty much everything, like other than Claydol, pretty heavily. I guess Araquanid also, like I guess Rock Slide I have for Araquanid. But pretty much Haxorus was my plan for endgame and for the endgame of this match. So it was also like the only offensive threat I really feel like could put in a lot of work here. Next up, I have my Mega Venusaur with Sludge Bomb, Synthesis, HP Ice, and Toxic. Doesn't hit everything. You know, I didn't bring Giga Drain, so I actually can't really hit Claydol. Of course, I have HP Ice, which was definitely on there for Zydog and Executor. Kind of wish I'd gone with like HP Rock for Zard, but you know, Sludge Bomb was. I mean, HP Rock I honestly doubt would have even OHKO'd Zard, because I'm not offensive Venusaur, so yeah, that definitely wouldn't have killed, but would have been nice to have either way. So I am a Fizdef Venusaur, so I can hopefully take on Zera and Zydog. So moving on, we have my Mamoswine, which this week is a Focus Sash Mamoswine, which I believe is actually the first time I've run Sash Mamo, which is kind of whack since that's like the best. That's the kind of most standard set for Mamo. But anyway, it is Rocks, Earthquake, Icicle Crash, and Stone Edge. This is another thing that could counter his Zard potentially. You know, if he wanted to for some reason lead off with Zard, I could like OHKO at turn 1 if I led with this. You're going to see I do not end up leading with this, but yeah. Anyway, moving on, we have a Sandslash with... Now, this set's kind of the weirdest one for this team. It's actually Scarfed Sandslash with Earthquake, Stone Edge, Rapid Spin, and X-Scissor. So, this Scarfed Sandslash was there to try and be a lure for Zardwy, as I'm pretty sure Zardwy could OHKO Sandslash with Solar Beam. So I figure maybe he'll stay in on Sandslash with Zardwy, and I can just Rock Slide it, outspeed it, and OHKO it. And yeah, I mean, that would be really nice. Also getting like a nice quick Earthquake off on Victini before I can hit me with anything, sorry. And then yeah, moving on to my last two, we have P2, which is a Spit F P2 this week, with Recover, Tri-Attack, T-Wave, and Zap Cannon. Zap Cannon was a really whack bring, but I don't know, like, I didn't really feel like I needed anything for my fourth move. Like, maybe I could have gone with, like, Ice Beam for the Zydog and Executor, but I feel like just clicking Tri-Attack against them isn't bad. Like, I can take a hit or two from them, so, you know. And Zap Cannon actually hits, like, a lot of his stuff, especially Zod. You know, this is going to hit Zod really powerfully, and just paralyzing any of his threats on this team would actually be really good for me. So definitely a whack bring, but something I wanted to try. Moving on to my final one, we have Suicune with Scald, Toxic, Protect, and Sub. Kind of want to go with the Calm mindset, but definitely couldn't have like beaten everything, as Zara would have just stopped me. So in the end I went with Sub, Toxic, Protect, and Scald. A pretty bulky kind of stall Suicune, but you know, it actually has a pretty good matchup against what he brought, as I could potentially Toxic Protect stall like his bulk in Claydol and Araquanid, and I could probably take on mons like Victini and maybe like non-specs Lele. Probably not, but maybe. So yeah, anyway, let's get right into this game. As you can see, we are challenged by Pokemon Trainer Randward, sorry. And he's going to lead off with his Zeraora, as I do lead off with my Mamoswine, trying to get up rocks on turn 1. Now, I'm going to go straight for an Earthquake, however, because he did lead Zera. And this was definitely a misplay, as Zera does sometimes have Fake Out, and it's not that surprising that he does have it. So that's going to break my Sash. I should have definitely just gone Venusaur turn 1. Like, he was always either going to Fake Out, or Close Combat, or Switch. Like, those were his 3 options, and Venusaur comes in on 2 of them just fine. So, you know, that was a bad play, but on my part, as he does go for a Close Combat on the second turn as I go Venusaur. If he Fire Punched here, that would have been a really good play on his end, and, you know, at that point, my Venusaur, I'm pretty sure, even when I Mega, would still be in range of another one, so that would have sucked, but luckily he doesn't do that. As he brings out the Claydol, as I'm just going to go for a Sludge Bomb, and, you know, I figured that Sludge Bomb was just my best play. Like, Toxic could have been an okay play here as well, but he didn't really have a Sludge Bomb switch in other than Claydol, so... and I kind of figured he wouldn't go into Claydol because, you know, Giga Drain's a move that I would have, but you see it does, it does nothing, and I do not poison him. So now I'm going to go back into my Mamo. I'm going to really try and get those rocks up at this point. Even though this is a spinner, I figured, you know, he wouldn't want to stay in on a Mamo, but he's actually going to make a double into his Lele, and that was a really solid double. I mean, I guess Venusaur couldn't do too much. Like, his Sludge Bomb would have hurt, but wouldn't have killed, and at this point, Lele pretty much kills one. Like, my only switch in right now is my P2, so I'm going to make that play, and I should be able to live 2 of whatever he throws off here, as he throws off a Psychic, and that does a lot. You know, I was Spit F, so I knew I'd be able to take this, and I'm actually going to go for a Zap Cannon here, because I realized paralyzing this Lele was so important, and I do land it, and you're going to see Zap Cannon comes off, and we are going to do like 40% to Lele, and get the power. So now I'm going to go for a Recover. As you do see, I outspeed his Lele, so I believe, was this Lele Specs? I think it might have been. No, it wasn't, it was not Specs. Sorry. As you're going to see here, he actually has the Aromatherapy, and that's just, I was so sad at this point. Like, I landed a Zap Cannon just for him to have Aromatherapy on his Lele. Like, that was good prep. I'm unsure what that was for, but it was good prep either way, like having Aromatherapy on this team. So now he's going to go out into Zeraora, as I do just go for a Tri-Attack. So, you know, I figured he'd probably go out into Zera here, so I can just get a bit of chip off with its Tri-Attack. And by a bit, I mean like 40%. So now I can just go out into my Venusaur, as he's going to make the double back to Lele, predicting this. I should have definitely played a bit more offensively here, and not gone Vena, but, you're going to see I believe I do make that switch. Yeah, you are going to see I switch out into my Venusaur, and now my only real plays are either sack him on or go back into P2. Now, looking at how much he did last time, I should be able to live 2. And you're going to see I do send out Porygon 2 here again, and he goes for a Psychic, and I go from 158 to 92. So I should always live this one. This should be fine, and I'll be in a good position again with my P2, as I can go for a Recover here, as he crits me. And that was really bad. I needed my P2 so badly in this game to be like a good chunk of his things. Like, that was my best wall for multiple mons on his team, including this Layla. So I'm going to go into Scuff Haxorus now, and I'm going to pull the Mamoswine double, expecting him to go back to Claydol, as it's the only Haxorus response. as he's going to stay in and Moonblast, predicting, I guess, like D-Dance Haxorus, but that sucks. As you're going to see, Mammoth Swine's going to live, but I have to sack Mammoth at this point. And without Rocks up, like, this game is definitely going to be extremely hard for me to win now. Like, I shouldn't have played so aggressively with my Mammoth Swan there. I shouldn't have put myself back in a good position and bring in Mammo on that Claydol and then Rocks up, but that doesn't happen. As I'm going to go into my Sand Slash now, hopefully catch him with a Scarf, hit him with an Earthquake here and just knock him out, but he's actually going to switch this time and go into Claydol. So, yeah. And at the time it didn't make too much sense why he didn't switch. Like, Lele would pretty much beat my whole team down, and he just tried to sack it off. And, you know, thinking about it after, I guess if my Haxorus D-Dance stopped, it could have been an issue, but, I mean, in my opinion, that was still kind of a misplay, but I don't know. I really don't know his full process between on that play. Like, he may have predicted the switch. I really don't know. I guess maybe he did. But, yeah, you're going to say I bring out my Suicune on this Claydol, and I'm going to sub up in case it has Toxic here, as he's just going to switch out into his Araquanid, I do believe. So, yeah, Araquanid's now in. And this is fine. I mean, Araquanid shouldn't be too much of a threat. Like, maybe a Leech Life will break my sub, but I can and should be able to Toxic Protect stall this down, so that's at least nice. Unfortunately, he's going to be able to get webs up right here, and I didn't bring removal this week, I do not believe. So yeah, that's just going to stop my Scarf. No, I have a spin on Sand Slash, sorry. But until I can do that, these webs are going to really hurt my Sand Slash and Haxorus. I mean, Sand Slash, you know, I feel like it could still be a threat. But mainly Haxorus, as you know, see, he lets me go for a Toxic on this Araquanid. And I believe this turn I just go for a Protect, you know, because Leech Life, I'm pretty sure there was a chance, depending on his spread, that he could break my sub. So I just figured I want to be as high health as I can when he breaks it, so I can set up another one. As he goes for Liquidation, which will never break my sub, like. So I'm guessing at this point he didn't have Leech Life. So I figure, you know what, I can just go for a Scald here, and I should be easily able to just stall out this Araquanid at this point and get rid of this. And, you know, that makes sense to me. And I believe this turn he goes for Liquidation into my sub, as he does. And you're going to see, you know, this doesn't even break a sub. I don't even think a crit could have broken a sub, so, you know, that's fine. That's fine by me. As I believe this next turn, I do go for a Protect again. You know, I figured he could break my sub this turn. And, oh no, I might not have. No, I don't. Because I figured if he would break my sub either this turn or the next turn. And if he breaks it next turn, then he would go down without the sub being up. So I needed my sub up. But you gotta see he goes for webs there. And that confused me at the time. I was wondering why he went for those, you know. He could have broken my sub. I guess maybe he read the Protect and went for webs, but still, it was a weird play. And here I'm going to go for a Protect, so my sub doesn't get broken. So I can have a sub up on whatever comes in. And he has Rest. And at this point, like, I'm just so far in the back. Like, his team just walls what I have left at this point. Like, Haxorus is my only win con at this point, in my opinion. So, you know, I'm going to, I believe, switch out into my Haxorus this turn. Or I might have gone Venusaur. I went into one of the two. I did bring up my Venusaur because I figured maybe 3 Sludge Bombs could KO. Like, that was pretty much my hope at this point. Like, sure, I could have gone for maybe Rock Slides with Haxorus and tried to break him with that. But for some reason, I decided Venusaur was the better play. As he brings out his Claydol. So I'm going to have to switch straight out because he's already shown Psychic. And I'm going to bring out my Sand Slash here. And he's just going to hit it with a Psychic, which you're going to see does... Oh no, he gets his Rocks up here, which is fine, since I'm going to spin the way now. However, you know, I am, of course, Choice Scarf, so I'm going to be locked into Spin, which isn't good. So I'm going to outspeed this Claydol, which I'm pretty sure if I didn't have the Scarf, I would not have outsped this. So, yeah, but you're going to see he goes for a Psychic here, and it does, like, 50 damage. Like, I could take another one, fine, but, you know, I can't really stay in here. I need to try and just break something at this point. I need to get rid of this Claydol or get rid of the Araquanid. Like, I need to try and get rid of something. And getting rid of Claydol or Araquanid would be nice because of the hazards. So, at this point I bring out Suicune again. And I want to say I double here, but I'm not sure. No, I go for a Toxic on this Claydol, as I believe he just goes for Rocks again. So I was really hoping he'd stay in here, not go Araquanid, so I could get the Toxic up on the Claydol, at least have some way through this, at least. So I was tempted to just double back to Sand Slash now, and, you know, spin again, but I didn't feel like the rocks were the biggest threats for me, so I believe now I'm either going to go for probably go for a Protect here, as, no, I'm actually going to make the switch here into my Haxorus. That's a Haxorus right there. That is a Haxorus, not a Venusaur. That's a Haxorus. So you're going to see I go Venusaur as he goes back into Araquanid. So I still was hoping 3 Sludge Bombs could somehow knock out this Araquanid, and you're going to see I actually go for HP Ice. I guess I was reading the Claydol switch. I do not remember this game very well, for some reason. I don't know why. It wasn't even that long since I played this one. But, yeah, I'm going to go for Sludge Bomb now, and you're going to see, yeah, this was nowhere near a 3-hit KO. Probably would have been a 4-hit KO. I guess maybe 3 with 1 crit could have done it. But at this point, I'm going to switch out now into my Haxorus, and I believe he's just going to go for a Liquidation here, do a bit of damage to me. I mean, he might not. I'm not too sure. He actually goes for webs here, which, you know, is just going to stop me if I can't get rid of those again. But at this point, I mean, if I get rid of those again, I'm probably going to lose Sand Slash the time I get rid of them. And I'm going to go for Rock Slide on Araquanid here, as he does have the Charty Berry, which, you know, is going to allow him to live this hit. He might have died if he didn't. I'm pretty sure it would have been a roll. Looking at how much that did, I think he could have just taken it. But, yeah, I mean, that's going to really hurt him having the Charty Berry, because now my Haxorus is really weak. And he's just going to go back out into Claydol here. And, you know, I'm going to go for a Rock Slide into it and do nothing, as I actually miss. I mean, even though I didn't miss, it would have done nothing. So, I'm probably going to go back into Suicune now, I believe. Yeah, I go back into Suicune here, as he's probably just going to throw off a Psychic again. You know, at this point, like, he just kind of throws Psychics off with Claydol, and my team does not appreciate it. So, that sucks. But he actually makes a double here into Victini, which was an interesting double. I mean, I'm glad I have my Suicune on the field at this point. So, I figure I'm going to go for a Protect hit here. Scout what he wants to click. Maybe he could, maybe he clicks Bolt Strike. If he clicked Bolt Strike, I was probably going to go into Venusaur on potentially a Choice Log, as he goes for a Toxic. And here, I almost went for Sub, but I figured, you know, he's not going to miss. I just go for Scald twice. I need to get rid of something at this point. And he misses his Toxic as my Scald comes off and does like 50%. And that was unfortunate, because I gave him another chance to Toxic me when he shouldn't have had that. But, you know, I'm just going to go for another Scald, try and get this KO, as I believe he's going to go out into Spider Boy here, back into his Araquanid. So, yeah, unfortunate that this is back in, and I actually went for Protect here. So, he's just going to get a rest up, and I do not have any, I cannot do anything about that. I'm going to go Sand Slash, and I'm going to try and spin Hazards away. Again, I believe he goes for rest at least. He might not actually. I don't think he did. What did he go for? No, he's actually going to make the switch here into Zard, I believe. Yeah, he's going to make the switch right out into Zard. And unfortunately, with the webs up, I'm not going to be able to outspeed his Zard. So, he can just go for a Flamethrower. And at this point, like, Zard just kind of wins. Nothing on my team can take that hit. Like, Suicune might be able to take a Solar Beam. Actually, no, there's no way Suicune takes that. I don't know what I'm saying. But at this point, my Sand Slash is 100% going to drop to a Flamethrower. I believe next I send out my Haxorus, just hoping somehow it could take the hit. I mean, it was already really low, so there was no way it would take that hit, but, you know, I figure if anything was going to live a hit at this point, it was probably going to be Haxorus, which you can see I had, like, no chance to live a Flamethrower hit. Like, Flamethrower probably does, like, 50%, and I was clearly at, like, 26, maybe 27%, like, I was really low. So, you are just going to see Haxorus go down. I believe next I'm going to send out my Suicune, as I realized maybe I could get a differential point back here. If I can stall out the Sun, Suicune should be able to stall the differential, or get a differential point out of him, as long as he doesn't go back into Araquanid. So, you know, unless he wants to conserve the 6-0, I should be able to make it a 5-0 if I can stall Sun. So, I'm going to go Suicune, go for Protect. And, I realized at this point I probably should have kept Haxorus around, because I guess if I had that around, I could have maybe still won. Like, maybe? As you're going to see, he has the Roar on Zard Y, which is actually a pretty nice tech. And my Venusaur is now in, and at this point, like, I have no play but to go back into Suicune. Like, I cannot make any other play at this point. So, I'm going to go back into Suicune and take this Flamethrower. So Suicune is going to slowly start getting whittled down, which definitely sucks. But, you know, there isn't too much I can do about that at this point. So he is just going to go for a Flamethrower. And, yeah, I mean, it's going to do like 40 damage, I believe. No, it actually does like 60. Never mind. So I'm only just over half here. I believe I'm going to go for another Protect. Even though he is Roar, at least I can Force Roar here. So I believe he actually does go for a Flamethrower again. So that's fine. At this point the sunlight fades, so I'm just going to go for a Toxic, I do believe. So there's that. And yeah, I'm going to go for a Sub actually. I figured maybe if he doesn't roar me out, I could try and do something here, but he does. And at this point Venusaur is in, and I cannot make the switch back to Suicune, as Suicune is not going to be able to live Rocks plus 2 Flamethrowers. And it looked like there was a chance I might not even live Rocks plus Flamethrower. But you're going to see I stay in here. And I should have just gone for a Sludge Bomb this turn, but you're going to see we actually do live, which surprised me. I went for Synthesis on the off chance I lived, and maybe could somehow get enough back to where I'd be getting health back, and you do see I am technically getting free HP back, but, you know, free HP definitely isn't enough to beat the Zard down. So I'm going to go for a few more Synthesis here, and eventually I will click Sludge Bomb. You know, I realize he's going to crit me eventually, or I'm just going to run out. I should just get this damage off to potentially give Suicune a KO. There's no way I can win this game at this point, because Zera will always just beat Suicune in the end, and so would Araquanid. Araquanid just wins the game at this point. There's nothing I can do about that. But I believe it's this turn. I'm just going to go for a Sludge Bomb, because I was already running out of Synthesis. And, you know, I'm barely any higher. Definitely not taking this hit well at all. So, yep, he's going to Flamethrower here. And yeah, I'm just going to go for a Sludge Bomb, do I believe like 30%, somewhere around there. Yeah, about 30%, as he just knocks me out with one last Flamethrower. And yeah, I mean, all I have left now is my Suicune, which maybe Scald can KO. I believe I go for a Scald as I send out my Suicune. And it does look like I'm at high enough HP after Rocks where I should live this. Like, Sun Boosted, I would die to, of course, but I should live this, and then I should be able to do, like, something here. I don't actually know what move I clicked here, because it doesn't exactly matter. As you're going to see, we do get crit, unfortunately, and that is going to be a 6-0 loss to Blazing Squid. So, unfortunately, that is a loss. That's actually the first loss for us in this season of PCL D-League. And that puts us at 6-1 with plus 11. We are now back to number 2 in the league behind Blazing Squid. So, yeah. Honestly, I feel like this game, I just didn't prep well, and I didn't play well. Like, I feel like my plays weren't terrible, but they weren't that good either. Like, I didn't play too well in this game. But prep was definitely the, like, big thing. I didn't prep well at all for this match. You know, I kind of went with a few kind of memes in there, you know, the Scarf Sand Slush, like, it could have definitely worked, but I feel like there was definitely some better options than Sand Slush for this game. Like, Nihilego did what Sand Slash could have in this game, just 10 times better, so I think maybe I should have gone with, like, Nihi. Zap Cannon P2 was kind of memey, where I could have definitely run a different move, but as I said at the beginning, I didn't really need anything else. But I just really feel like I didn't prep well. Like, looking at my team, there were some better options for this matchup, and hopefully we do get a playoff rematch, so I can actually, you know, try and prep well for that one. But yeah, I mean, this match just didn't go well at all for me, and I mean, of course, getting crit definitely really hurt me after P2 got crit, as that would have been my main response to the Lele, potentially the Zard as well. I guess, or even Claydol, like, it could have been a pretty decent response to, and maybe Araquanid as well. Like, if that Araquanid's 4th move, I believe what Araquanid showed Liquidation and Rest. I don't know if it showed Sleep Talk. I think it did. No, it didn't. So I only think, and it showed Webs. So if his 4th move wasn't like Toxic, I think I could have 1v1 that as well with P2. So like, P2 getting crit was really bad. And then of course I shouldn't have played so offensively with making that Mamo double, which cost me my Mamo. But you know, I feel at that point in the match, I felt like I needed to make an offensive play to get back into it, and it didn't work out. And I should have realized that when playing this game. I should have realized that was too high risk for me, because after losing Mamo, like, I feel like I just lost at that point. Like, I feel like after that, it was just me trying to get differential points. I don't realistically think I could have won. Like, I would have had to make a lot of really good plays to have a chance after Mamo went down, but I needed those rocks for this match. I should have realized the importance of getting those up, but, you know, not being able to get those up just meant Zard was going to destroy me in the end game, and it did. I mean, pretty sure Zard picked up, what, 4 KOs? It KO'd Sandslash with Flamethrower, KO'd Suicune, Axorus, and Venusaur with Flamethrower. So, yeah, picked up 4, and Layla picked up the other 2. Like, this game didn't go well for me. And it's actually the first time I've been 6-0'd in, like, I want to say, like, six months, around there. I don't remember. So, yeah, that sucks. But, hopefully I can start picking up wins again next week. Finishing off the season with, like, 9-1 or 8-2 is kind of my goal right now. Like, 8-2 is kind of where I want to finish. 9-1 would be really cool to finish off at as well. So, yeah, hopefully we can have some good final 3 matches and get a rematch with Blazing in playoffs. So, yeah, thank you guys for watching this video. If you did enjoy, be sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching, and goodbye.